All right, guys. So I wanted to do a little quick trade recap of my trade I took here today, April 10th, 2025, of course. And today was a pretty simple day, honestly, really straightforward. I love trading Thursdays, full of volume. So today I came into the market seeing that obviously we're bearish, right? We have a 20 and 200 SMA death cross there, showing that we're definitely bearish. And then every time we've been pulling back to it, we're obviously continue to drop. So I noticed that we were already hitting it today as well with this new candle for today. And I'm keeping in mind too, right? What does price usually do? It only moves from external range liquidity to internal range liquidity or vice versa. So we've already taken external range liquidity, right? Took the low here. Now we came back into internal range, whether that could be a gap, right? Or an order block. This is what we got. So we reached the internal range liquidity while hitting 20 SMA. So I was pretty confident about going down. And another thing too, I'm gonna show you guys some picture I have. So it's actually a picture of the markup I've had. So we also never really put in the bottom wick for this candle as well, right? Because think about it. Our previous day candle is very bullish, right? So some may argue that they want to continue to follow that trend. That's fine, right? If they want to do that, you at least will expect, this candle to put in that bottom wick to go up. So my thought process was, okay, we've reached internal range liquidity. We've hit a POI here. We have a lot of confluences of it being bearish. So I'm okay with taking sales, not maybe all the way down here, right? But at least somewhere that makes sense in order to get in and get out, just in case they are just building a bottom wick to then move up. Because this is only 12:45 p.m. Recording this. Still a lot of day left, and there's a news event, orange folder, coming up in about 15 minutes. Right, so quick little breakdown there. Now, when I went to the 1 hour, this is what I was kind of looking at, right? And I actually missed out on a trade here that popped up right above the NY open, and that was for the 10 a.m. candle that I missed out on. But what we were initially looking at here, and I'll put these little call outs for the trade I got into, I played the 11 a.m. wick, right? The manipulation of the 11 a.m. candle to ride the distribution down. All right. So when we look at the 1 minute where I took the execution at, all right, we can see a couple of things here. And I'll show you the NY open move that I actually missed. So we got a beautiful pullback into kind of this area here. We went right above 930 open and then kind of changes the state of delivery and everything. And I forgot what it was. Like I had a limit up here. I was hoping for it to come back a little bit higher. But honestly, I should have played just down here. And you can see that we break the 20 SMA and even pull back up to it. So that's a good area to get in. That was just the opportunity I missed out on. But no problem. I figured that price was still going to be dropping, given the fact that we were so bearish on, the daily. And then when I came down here, right, we had price trading under the 20 and the 200 for most of the time. Every time it kind of pulled back up to that 20, it's been dropping pretty heavy. And I don't rely solely on SMAs, but they're pretty good confluence to use if you're just looking at market structure and things of that such. Okay, so when we got here, when I missed that initial trade, I actually tried to get some trades here because I figured that we might take the lows. So I think here I got chopped up actually. Not too bad, but when I got out of here, I was only negative $80. So should have been much more patient and waited for the next hour. But when I realized what I was doing, I stopped and I was like, let me just give it some time, right? So human error, not always perfect, but have to be better. Okay, so we get a change in the state of delivery. So we get the 11 a.m. open. I always mark that off, right? Because what we want to see is accumulation, distribution, or accumulation, manipulation, distribution, rather. Okay, so we clearly get that. We have this area here, this order block, and there's also I'm not sure if a lot of people are aware of this, but if you mark up the consequent encroachment or the 50% of wicks, you get some nice reactions from there. In the DTFX community, they call those hidden S&Ds. So I tend to always mark those off because it's so like precise sometimes. As you can see here, that's what we got. So I didn't want to rush it and get in immediately. I waited for us to get this change in the state of delivery down here, which was this candle at 11:15, and I got in on the pullback. Okay, so that's how I got in this wick, and it wasn't the top of this wick; it was like somewhere right here, but it was definitely 2 hour or more trade. Okay, so once we got that change in the state of delivery, hopped in, wrote it down, and as you can see, over 200 points. And it kept going. I definitely could have stayed in until at least the 12 o'clock hour, which would bring us down about here. So you're looking at a trade that if I held it, we're looking at a nice little drop here. We're looking at about 319 points. It's massive. Okay. But, 200 points, I'm not going to complain about that at all. That's an awesome trade. So, as you can see, pretty straightforward. Not hard at all. I love to trade this style. It's just the power of 3: accumulation, manipulation, distribution. I tend to like to try to, trade 1 hour PO3s or 4 hour PO3s. As you can see, this was a 1 hour one on the 11 a.m. candle. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me here. I have social media, of course, on X, on Market Mellow, TikTok, Market Mellow 33. So you can find me on those places and give me a follow. But until next time, hope you guys take care.